Do you want to be like Leprechaun Sean and make a board like this? Staring down 4 Omni Negates, 3 Monster Negates, and Spell and Trap Negate? All you have to do is watch this video and figure out how you can make this entire board off of 1 card.
Hey guys, Sean here. Today I'll be profiling my Time Thief deck. This deck can make insane boards. It can go first and set up multiple negates, or it can go second and OTK. It is mainly focused on getting out as many XYZ monsters as you can. So let's get into it. Alright, for the main deck, we begin with triple Time Thief Winder. Winder can search your deck for any Time Thief card, and also you can detach a material from an XYZ monster you control to special summon it from your hand. So overall, this is a great card. Next up, double Time Thief Adjuster. You can special summon her from your hand when you summon a Time Thief card, and when she's normally special summoned, you can Foolish Burial a Time Thief card from your deck. Next up is one of the most important cards in the deck, triple Time Thief Regulator. You can tribute him to special summon 2 Time Thieves from your deck. This is the most important combo starter in the deck because you can begin your XYZ plays straight from this one card. Also, if an XYZ monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, while Regulator's in the grave, you can special summon it. So that might come up in a few scenarios. Next up we have 1 Bezel ship. This is the main target for your adjuster you're going to be sending to the grave. You can detach a material from one of your XYZ monsters to special summon it from the grave. So it's very important for extending your combos. That's it for the Time Thief monsters, but we have more monsters here. We run a Raidraptor package, so we have 1 Raidraptor Singing Lanius, 1 Raider's Wing, and then double Strangle Lanius. So Singing Lanius can special summon himself if you control an XYZ monster. Raider's Wing is the same as Bezel ship. You can detach a material from an XYZ you control, special summon him from the grave. Strangle Lanius, you can special summon him from your hand if you control a dark monster. And if you control a XYZ monster with a dark monster as material, you can special summon a Raidraptor monster from your graveyard. So they're all very important for extending your combos. Next up, we have a mini Rokket package. We have Rokket Tracer and Rokket Recharger. So this is how you can go into your Boardload Savage. You run a few link monsters, so you can get a Boardload Savage with 3 negates. Also, you can use these 2 as XYZ material since they're both level 4. So they're just great extenders in the deck. Next up, we have some generic special summons. We have Photon Thrasher. You can special summon him from your hand if you control no monsters. White Dragon Wyverbuster. You can banish a dark monster from your graveyard to special summon him. Next up, double Parallel Exceed. You can run 3 of this card, but I think 2 is good enough for the deck. When you link summon, you can special summon this card from your hand to the zone your link monster points to, and then it will special summon another copy of itself, and then they both become level 4. So that's just an instant XYZ monster right there. It is a wind attribute, and a lot of the monsters in this deck lock them into darks, so it isn't always applicable, but when you get it off, it's very important. Finally, we have the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. We do run a few Phantom Knights cards, and we run Rusty Bardiche in the extra deck. So you'll pitch him off using Rusty Bardiche, and then you will banish him from the graveyard to add a Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand. For the final monsters in the deck, we run triple Gamma and 1 Driver. Gamma is a very good hand trap in the deck because you can use it to go into your Boardload Savage. Also, when you use your Regulator, he tributes himself for cost. So if that gets Ash Blossomed, you can Gamma because you have no monsters on the field. And then you can extend your plays further from there. That's it for the monsters. We'll go into the spells now. For the spells here, we have Time Thief spells first up, Time Thief Startup, and Time Thief Hack. So Startup can special summon a Time Thief monster from your hand. I feel like it's very good because if you don't want to commit to your normal summon with Regulator and you have Startup in your hand, you can use Startup to special summon your Regulator, and if it gets interrupted or negated, you still have your normal summon to start your combos. For Time Thief Hack, when you special summon an XYZ monster for that turn, your opponent cannot target or destroy your XYZ monster. Also, you can target one of your XYZ monsters. It gains 300 attack for each material attached to it. If it has one of your opponent's cards as material, that monster can attack directly. Time Thief Hack can be useful, letting one of your XYZs attack directly, so then afterwards you can go into Zeus. Next up we have triple Quick Launch. Quick Launch lets you special summon a Rokket from your deck, so it's just a free level 4 on the field. We run 2 rank up magics in the deck, Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Force and Rank Up Magic Soul Shave Force. So with the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic, you can banish dark monsters from your graveyard, target one of your XYZs, and then you can rank it up by the number of dark monsters you banished with the effect. This can help you go into your Arc Rebellion, your Dark Requiem, or your Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. With Soul Shape Force, you pay half your life points, special summon one Raidraptor XYZ from your graveyard, and then you overlay it with an XYZ monster that's 2 ranks higher. So in this deck, you'll always be using this to go into your Infinity. It's a great way to get out an Omni Negate. Next up, double XYZ Import. You can target one of your opponent's monsters that has less attack than one of your XYZ monsters, and attach it as material. This can be very good in combination with Time Thief Hack, as it will let one of your XYZ monsters attack directly. Also, it's a good way of getting rid of some of your opponent's monsters that are difficult to get rid of otherwise. For the final spells in the deck, we have Called by the Grave and Monster Reborn. Called by the Grave is very important because you want your combos to go off properly, and Monster Reborn can just be a nice extender whenever you draw it. For the traps, we have Time Thief Flyback and Time Thief Retrograde. With Time Thief Flyback, you can target one of your XYZ Time Thief monsters and attach a Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. If it's in the grave, you can banish it to target one card in your opponent's graveyard and attach it to one of your Time Thief XYZ. This can be used as a pseudo Call by the Grave. It won't negate any effects, but you can stop your opponent from using a monster in the grave if you take it before they can use it. Time Thief Retrograde, if you control an XYZ Time Thief monster, you can negate a spell trap and attach it as material. It's a very nice counter trap that you can use to negate stuff such as Dark Ruler no more that you wouldn't be able to negate otherwise. Next up, triple Phantom Knight's Fogblade. You have many ways to search this card. You can target one of your opponent's monsters, negate their effects, and they cannot attack. And finally, we have double Phantom Knight's Shade Brigandine. You can special summon it as a level 4 monster. It can be very helpful going into your Reader because it counts as a trap, so you can activate your Reader's trap effect. Also, if there's no traps in your graveyard, you can activate it the turn you set it. That's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck now. Alright, on to the extra deck now. We'll start off with the XYZ. For the Time Thief XYZ, we have Time Thief Reader and Time Thief Perpetua. The reason we don't run Time Thief Double Barrel is because it's really not a good card. There are plenty more generic rank 4 XYZs that you can play in its place. For Time Thief Reader, he gains an effect depending on what material he has attached. If you detach a monster, you can banish him until the end of the turn. If you have a spell, you can draw a card. If you detach a trap, you can bounce one of your opponent's cards to the top of their deck. Also, during the standby phase, Reader can steal the top card of your opponent's deck. So stealing your opponent's cards is very good because it gives them no access to it at all. And if you steal an important piece to their combo, they have no way of recovering. Time Thief Perpetua, during the standby phase, you can detach a material and then target one Time Thief monster in the graveyard to special summon it. Also, she has a quick effect. You can target one XYZ monster you control and attach a Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. So it's very nice for making sure that all your XYZs have material to activate their effects. Next up, we have double Raidraptor Force Strix. You can detach a material to add a level 4 Darkwing Beast from your deck to your hand. This is vitally important for your Raidraptor combo. It is essential that you run 2 for the combo to work. Next up, for the XYZ dragons, we have Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon, and Arc Rebellion XYZ Dragon. Dark Rebellion is the worst. You can detach a material, target one monster your opponent controls, half its attack, and then you gain the half attack. You're mostly going to be using him to rank up into your Dark Requiem. If he has Dark Rebellion as material, you can detach a material to negate one of your opponent's monster effects, and this isn't once per turn. Most of the time, if you have Dark Rebellion as material, you'll have 3 monster negates. Arc Rebellion is the main way of OTKing with this deck. You can detach a material to negate the effects of all face-up monsters on the field, and then you gain attack equal to the combined total attack of all monsters on the field. So this is the best way to OTK in the deck, and it's not very difficult to achieve. Next up, we run a Raider's Knight. Raider's Knight, you can detach a material to special summon an XYZ monster that's a rank higher than him. This is the main way to go into your Arc Rebellion to set up an OTK. Next up, Cyber Dragon Infinity. The main way of going into him is by using your Soul Shape Force. At the cost of half your life points, you're gaining a negate, and you're gaining a monster that can attach your opponent's monsters to it as material. So it's definitely worth including in the deck. For the final XYZs, we have Abyss Dweller, Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon, and Zeus. Abyss Dweller, you can stop your opponent from activating cards in the grave. Ultimate Falcon, you can detach a material to negate the effect of all monsters on the field, and then your opponent cannot activate any cards for the rest of the turn. Also, if it has a Raidraptor as material, at the end phase, you can decrease the attack of your opponent's monsters by 1000, and if they have no monsters, you can burn them for 1000 damage. And Zeus, y'all know what Zeus does. Pretty good card. Okay, for the links, we run Raidraptor, Strix, and Phantom Knight's Rusty Bardiche. So Strix, you can special summon a level 4 Wing Beast from your deck, but it cannot be used as link material. If a Raidraptor XYZ activates its effect, you can set a rank up magic from your deck to the field. So it's very good for your combo. With Rusty Bardiche, you'll be sending your Silent Boots from your deck to the grave to set a Phantom Knight spell or trap. Also, if an XYZ monster is special summoned to his only points to, you can destroy one card in the field. The final card in the deck, Borlode Savage Dragon. You can go into him using your Rockets or using your PSY-Framegear. Since you use your Link monsters in the combo, you'll have them in the grave ready to equip to Borlode to give him negates. Before we get into the combo, I have some cards I want to mention here. We have Evil Storm Nightmare is a good generic rank 4. When your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach a material to Book of Moon it. So it's a very good option if you want to consider it. Salamangreat Almirage is good. You have a lot of low attack normal summons in the deck. So if one of them gets negated, you can go into Almirage, and then if you have Parallel Exceed in your hand, you can combo off from there. And finally, Frame Lambda. Because you're running the Gamma package, you can use this to activate your hand traps while you have monsters on the field. It's definitely a good option to consider. So this is the combo you saw at the beginning. It uses one card, and that card is Time Thief Regulator. Alright, so we'll begin. Normal summon Regulator. We'll activate his effect, so we'll tribute him to special summon Time Thief Winder and Time Thief Adjuster. We will go Chain 1 Winder and Chain 2 Adjuster. Adjuster will dump our Bezel ship, and Winder will search us for our Time Thief Retrograde, which we will set right now. Then we will XYZ into our Force Strix. We'll activate Force Strix effect, detaching either one, it doesn't really matter, to search for our Singing Lanius. We'll activate Singing Lanius, special summon it. In the grave, we will activate our Time Thief Bezel ship. We'll special summon it by detaching material from our Force Strix. Next, we will link with our 2 Raidraptor monsters to go into our Raidraptor Strix. We'll activate Strix effect to special summon our Raider's Wing. We'll XYZ with Bezel Ship and Raider's Wing to go into another Force Strix. We'll activate Force Strix effect. Very important that you detach Raider's Wing to the grave to search for our Raidraptor Strangle. This will trigger Strix effect so we can set Soul Shave from our deck. We will activate Soul Shave, special summon a Raidraptor from the graveyard, special summon Force Strix, and then overlay into Cyber Dragon Infinity. Next up, we activate our Raider's Wing, so we will special summon him by detaching Bezel Ship from Force Strix. We will use Force Strix and Strix to link into our Rusty Bardiche. Activate Rusty Bardiche to send our Silent Boots from deck to grave to set Shade Brigandine from deck. We will activate Shade Brigandine, special summon it as a monster. We will XYZ into our Time Thief Redoer. At the moment we have Redoer with a card bounce, we have Infinity with an Omni negate, and we have Time Thief Retrograde as a spell and trap negate. But we can go farther from here. We will banish Silent Boots from the graveyard to add Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force from deck to hand. Next up, we will special summon Strangle from our hand. We'll activate his effect. Since we control a XYZ monster with a Dark XYZ as material, we can special summon a Raidraptor from the graveyard. We will special summon our Singing Lanius. Next up, we will XYZ with these two into Dark Rebellion XYZ. We will activate Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force. We will banish any Dark monster from the graveyard to rank Dark Rebellion XYZ up into Dark Requiem XYZ. So off of one card, we have 3 monster negates, a Disruption, a Spell and Trap card negate, and an Omni negate. Now that was off one card. If we manage to draw Quick Launch in our starting hand, we can extend this combo. So I'll activate Quick Launch, I will special summon Rokket Tracer from the deck. Activate Rokket Tracer, we're going to destroy Bardiche to special summon Rokket Recharger. Next up, we will Synchro into Borlode Savage. We will use him to attach Rusty Bardiche as material. So at this point, we gain 3 extra negates from 1 extra card. And at this point, you have 3 more cards in your deck. You might as well.
Considering you went through half of it.
At this point, you have 3 cards left in your hand, which could be hand traps, they could be disruptions, or they could be more extenders. Alright, so that's it for the deck profile. Overall, this deck is very explosive, however, it can be exploited. But the main appeal of this deck is to go full combo, get out a million monsters, and negate your opponent's all hell, and win the game. Overall, I think it's a very fun deck. I think it can compete at high level, just because there's so many negates you can get out. You just have to avoid getting hand trapped. So I think cards like Crossout Designator have a very nice place in this deck. Basically just extra call by the graves. And maybe more hand traps would be helpful for the deck as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments.